We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
It's always the best way to start. Hello, welcome to High School Famous, the podcast that sometimes has an intro. I'm Matt.
I'm Sean. I think our batting average is pretty high. I think we're allowed to not have an intro sometimes.
Yeah, why not?
It's not like we're repeat offend. We're not like it's not the regular situation. You know what I mean? People
to
can't
not have
get
an
mad.
intro.
Yeah, like I said, if we only had an intro every so often, like once every 10 episodes or something, there'd be maybe like, come on, guys, get it together. But
right.
We put in the work almost every week.
Also, I don't think you can ever say people can't get mad because people get mad at really dumb stuff all the time.
How about this? I will not care if they get mad.
There you go. Yeah. We don't care.
Yeah, I don't care
Get
if you
mad
get
at us.
mad. Yeah.
We embrace
angry.
the heat and hate that you can give us.
Get upset, get sad, get
Yeah.
happy, get a good rate on your loan, all because of us.
Right. So it's December already.
Fantastic. I've just heard.
You just heard?
I just heard about this December.
You just heard about this?
Yeah. When did that
We're
start?
3 days deep. We're 3 days
Good.
deep in December right now.
Lord. I better get my holiday shopping done.
Yeah. Oh, I get my holiday shopping done about a week before Christmas usually. No, so since it's December, that means that obviously the holiday season is upon us, which also means that Christmas music has been being played on the radio for a month now, which is driving me already completely crazy.
Is this something that you're forced to listen to at work?
Mainly because one of the guys I work with plays it on purpose because he knows I get annoyed by it. So he constantly plays it. And there's only so many times I can hear 20 different versions of Jingle Bells.
There's a lot of that one.
It's insane. Like it's you hear the same 15 Christmas songs by about 20 to 30 different artists. So it's just the same songs over and over again.
And for some reason,
slightly differently.
And for a lot of, for most artists, just putting out a Christmas album is like guaranteed cash in the bank.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, if you're a fan of someone and then they put out a Christmas album, you're going to buy it, even though they're not, let's say there's one original song, but largely it's going to be Jingle Bells, Silent Night, other Christmas songs I can't think of.
Rudolph.
What's the one, I did Silent Night already. Do a lot of people do that whole, Baby It's Cold Outside anymore?
I think that song has kind of gone away now because of all the stuff. I mean, there's literally a lyric in it that's like, "What's in this drink?"
I didn't really notice that one.
The reason I really know that is because I kind of was looking up. I was looking up different like song lyrics and stuff because there's a lot of like really weird lyrics that don't make sense and a lot of problematic lyrics in Christmas songs.
Do you think it's quick to jump to the notion that it's maybe like a roofie or something, or maybe it's just like she drinks it, she's like, "Oh, this this is interesting. What's in this?"
Yeah,
maybe it's more innocent.
Cut.
Maybe it's more innocent than we're letting on.
No, I mean, the whole song is basically like this dude trying to convince this woman not to leave, but she wants to leave.
Well, yes, that is what's happening. She wants to go home, but he would like her to not go home. But I don't know. I haven't listened to it in a long time to really pick up on if it's like aggressive or not.
I guess I haven't really paid too much of attention. I mean, I could pull up the lyrics to it. We can take a look.
Well, especially for the time it came out, I'm sure it's more of things were a lot more wholesome back then.
Yeah.
So I can see it being more like, oh no, let's just stay here and let's get cozy and be together. You know what I mean?
Right. So, I mean, the very first lyric in the song is, "I really can't stay."
Yeah.
And then, "Baby, it's cold outside. I've got to go away. Baby, it's cold outside.
Cold outside.
This evening has been this evening has been hoping that you'd drop in. So very nice. I'll hold your hands. They're just like ice.
So why are they already cold? She's inside.
Because it's cold outside. And so he's just saying, like, your hands are already ice cold. If you go outside,
they'll get even worse.
You'll clearly die.
Yes. Instantly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save your life. Get under my covers.
Then my mother will start to worry, and he says, beautiful, what's your hurry? Just completely ignoring what she's saying altogether.
Disregard, yeah.
Yeah. My father will be pacing the floor. Listen to that fireplace roar. This guy's just not even listening to her at this point.
No, he's given up. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got one goal in mind.
So really, I'd better scurry. Beautiful, please don't hurry. Right back to hurrying. This isn't very well written.
Yeah.
But maybe just hauled a drink more. I think it's supposed to be half.
That's her saying that, though? Like,
no, I think this is him. But maybe I think it's supposed to say half a drink more. Google lyrics. Get it right. I'll put some records on while I pour. The neighbors might think, baby, it's cold out there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, where?
Yeah.
Outside.
Outside, yes.
Where. Yeah. Say, what's in this drink? No cabs to be had out there. Don't rhyme there with there.
It was a different time.
I wish I knew how. Your eyes are like starlight now. To break this spell, I'll take your hat. Your hair looks well. I mean, yeah, it's just about a dude, not a woman. This woman clearly needs to get going. She wants to leave, and he's not letting her. So
he's just not.
There's a lyric that says, "Ugh, you're very pushy now," or "You're very pushy, you know." I'd like to think of it as optimistic or opportunistic. Is the next lyric.
That's not opportunistic, though.
I simply must go. The answer is no.
Like, he's now saying, no, you're not. Okay, there we go.
No, that's her lyric. I skipped the baby, it's cold outside part again, because otherwise I'm just saying it over and over again.
Gotcha. Never mind.
Yeah, she says the answer is no.
So at that point, still, she said the answer is no. He should just be giving up.
Yeah. My sister will be suspicious. Gosh, your lips look delicious.
I mean,
this man's a cannibal. That's why.
That's why the song is canceled.
Yeah, that's why the song is canceled.
It's a pro cannibalism song.
The Cannibal Party really pushes this song. They want it.
The Cannibal Party? Is there a political party that's
yeah. They're pro
cannibalism.
Cannibalism.
What else? What are their other views, Matt? What others what other sides do they take on the hot issues?
They also wanted the wall built.
Oh, that one, yeah.
But they wanted it to be 4 walls that would surround an entire area of people.
Like the builders,
to make
maybe?
it more of like a cage, so that they could use those people as food.
I wonder why they haven't popped up in any sort of actual like office positions, like any. Yeah, they haven't.
They're just not getting the votes.
It seems like they have not been elected to anything so far. The Cannibalism Party.
Yeah, no. So along these routes of weird song lyrics, the reason I even brought up Christmas song lyrics at all is one thing that bothers me every time the song comes up of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay.
All right. So the song starts off, you know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, right?
Yep. Comet, Donner, and Blitzen.
Cupid and Donner and Blitzen.
Mm-hmm.
So you know all of them.
Sure.
But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all?
All right. I think I know what your problem is.
Like, why would we forget that one?
Right. If he is the most famous reindeer of all,
yeah,
we would already know who he is. We wouldn't have to learn who he is in the story that they're telling in the song.
Right. That just, I never thought about it until recently. I heard that. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well,
also, if his nose is just shiny, how could it be used to light the way in the fog?
That's another
some other light source would have to bounce off of it.
Yeah, like the moon or street lights or things like that. But
it's foggy, so his nose isn't any better than any other.
Yeah, you're right. That's why he had to go, because it was the storm.
Yeah.
Which, I'm hard pressed to believe, or I'm not going to believe that Santa's not going to be able to get his way through to deliver gifts if there's bad weather out. Because
and the thing is, fog
That's
if
not high
Santa's
up.
flying around, yeah, fog is low to the ground.
Fog's low to the ground.
So was this a time before the whole idea that Santa was flying around with his reindeer? Was Santa just landlocked?
Like it's more like sled dogs.
Yeah.
Where they're pulling him around.
Which obviously makes the most sense. Like reindeer shouldn't fly and all that
Right,
stuff. But
right. So
this song written around that time where it's like, oh, Santa doesn't fly? You know, they had to say Santa flies to make it make sense for him being able to give presents to all the boys and girls of the world.
So you're saying that it was a little too believable, but also not believable? Like it was too believable in that he couldn't fly and the reindeer couldn't fly.
I mean, that's what would make sense in the fact that fog would
affect
hinder him from being able to deliver.
But even so, if his one job is to deliver presents to all the children around the world every year on Christmas Eve, and if something as simple as fog can make it nearly impossible, like what if Rudolph didn't exist? Supposedly, he would not be able to get through anything that year and deliver any presents to anyone because of the fog. Now,
did the Christmas was canceled.
But was the fog? Where was the fog? Because I guarantee you the entire globe was not covered in fog.
Right.
So was it just that he couldn't get his way out of the North Pole?
It must have been. Because otherwise, how would he have known there was fog elsewhere?
If I know the globe, and I think I know roughly what the globe is like.
I mean, from what we've heard before, you don't believe in the globe.
If I know the globe in this, theoretical, imaginary scenario where the world is round.
And Santa exists.
And reindeer fly, and presents are delivered by this man. And there's a reindeer with a glowing red nose, or at least a shiny one.
Yeah.
If you just if you're at the North Pole and you just start going and you pick a direction, eventually you're going to head south because you can only head south from there.
Right.
I guess unless you're somehow going directly east or west and you're just going to go in a really tiny circle at that point.
Circles.
But you're basically going south no matter what you do.
Right.
You're going to get out of the North Pole no matter where you go, and you're going to go toward some other part of the world that is populated where you have to go there anyway.
Right.
And you'll be out of the fog, and you would have been able to carry on just like any other night, any other Christmas Eve.
Can fog develop in the North Pole?
Isn't fog the result of, there has to be a little bit of heat first, yes?
I believe so.
Like it's condensation that's in the air that then gets cooled.
Right.
To create fog. I don't think fog is possible in the North Pole.
I wouldn't think so.
But even if it were possible, it seems that the issue was that the North Pole, or at least the area around Santa's workshop, was heavily covered in fog, making it impossible to see.
It must have to do with whatever heat is coming out of the workshops that the elves are making the toys in. There must be
causing the fog.
Warm, moist air coming out of that.
Well,
and it's mixing with the cool air on the North Pole, and it would be foggy
all the time.
A lot. Then
I was going to say, this would happen every year.
Yeah, he should be used to it by now.
Yeah,
and his elves can make anything. They could make him some fog lights, lamps for his sleigh.
I know. Yeah, I think that maybe the operation of the workshop in full, production mode causes fog.
Right.
And so they know they have to shut down so many days or whatever before Christmas Eve actually falls upon, before it actually comes.
Yeah.
So that the
they
fog
should be done
can
by
dissipate.
then anyway.
Maybe they were running behind that year, and the workshop had to run some late hours and run a little bit closer to Christmas Eve than they would have liked. And it caused the fog to still be around come Christmas Eve. Therefore, they're in a conundrum.
Right.
And that the head elf was fired and handed over to the cannibalism party.
Yeah, he was probably already part of the cannibalism party.
Yeah. Well,
knowing that guy,
then they probably dishonorably ate him.
That's their equivalent of a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah, if
later it'll be a dishonorable discharge.
A very big,
if you know what I mean,
discharge. Yes, yeah. I know what you mean. The toilet bowl.
If you catch my drift.
Yeah, or the drafty drift. Your drafty drift.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be I would rather be honorably discharged from the cannibalism party. I think it's the same. It's just that people have good a good opinion about you. They're not upset with you. They actually
enjoyed you.
Yeah,
as a person and as a meal.
They didn't serve you to their enemies as a form of punishment.
Right.
They fully cook you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
cannibalisms have to cook the human meat, right?
Wouldn't
you theoretically get sick eating raw human meat?
I would, I don't know how that would, I'm like sitting here like, oh, like, how the fuck would I know? I don't know.
So an animal can kill another animal and then start eating it right away.
Right.
We do not do that though. We process animals and then, the meat is then stored at a cooled temperature and sent off to various grocery stores and whatnot.
I have to imagine if we would eat, depending on the animal, if we would just eat it straight up at point of kill,
from a fresh kill,
it'd probably maybe be okay. It probably wouldn't taste great.
That's what I'm wondering if you kill a human being with the intent to eat it, if you could then proceed to eat it immediately, or at least some of it, and be fine.
I mean, I think at this point in our evolution, like, we've probably made that part of us weaker over time to, like, fight off anything. Like, we use drugs to cure all of the things that our body probably could handle back in the, forever ago.
So you're saying that historically, like, the cannibals of the past, they had it much easier than the cannibals of today?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not as easy going. They have to, like...
It's not as easy to be a cannibal nowadays.
There's more to worry about.
Yeah.
You're right. Like, we've evolved away from... part of the thing with animals, too, is I bet you that, they regularly kill and then eat right away. Like, so anything that carcass may be harboring as far as disease goes, the animal eating it is more likely immune to those things because it consumes that stuff all the time.
Right.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that the average human doesn't often kill another human and then eat it immediately.
It happens less than, probably less than often.
Probably less than you want.
Less than you want.
What? Oh, that's what you said? Less than often?
No.
Oh,
I was saying less.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying less than desirable.
No.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But you didn't say that,
no.
right? So you're
no.
You're not. Are you a member of the?
No.
No, you're not. You're not. Just. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I thought that one weird correspondence you sent me. There was some sort of thing you sent me trying to. It looked like a recruitment attempt from you. I thought it was a little strange.
The band Cannibal Corpse, are they saying that they are people that were eaten by cannibals?
I don't know, but let's not get off of, don't dodge this a little bit right away. So you sent me something. To me, it looked like
I did no such thing.
It was some sort of letter, gauging my interest in the cannibalism party, and if I'd like to meet up at this. It named a location and a time for a meetup. What was that about? That was not you letting me know that you're involved in such things. What was the purpose of that letter?
Basically, what I was trying to do was I was trying to get you to go to that to be a victim.
You wanted me to get eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And were you particularly angry with me at that time, or what was the reason?
I thought it would be a laugh.
So this is something you would still do now. You would try to get me eaten by cannibals.
It would make for a great story.
It would make for a great story for one of us.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That it would not make a great story for you.
Why not?
I'm going to say, I'm just, again, out on a limb. This whole episode, I'm just teetering on this limb here.
Mm-hmm.
The court of public opinion might not look too kindly on this venture of yours, this mission to get me eaten. By other human beings, just so you can tell the story about it.
All they're gonna have is that letter I sent you of like, hey, look at this. It's crazy. That's all they have. Unless they listen to this episode, they're not gonna know it was deliberate.
Right, but anybody investigating the matter would not think to give this episode or any of our episodes a listen. They might provide some sort of evidence, especially if
they'll listen to the first couple episodes and be like, "This is not.
No, we're not going to find anything worthwhile on
There's going to be nothing. There's no incriminating evidence at all. Nobody's ever admitted to being an arsonist
or someone that threatened someone with a knife. Or someone that may or may not
killed
be
a bunch of people
so
that they could have a swimming hole
with someone who may or may not have killed some dogs on the way to a grocery store. Many dogs, and then more dogs. Let's just get this. In fact, this podcast is so worthless. Let's just get it pulled from all platforms.
this episode or all of them?
All the show, the whole show.
The show. But
These
we'll
are-
keep
this-
recording though.
No, this is me. This is the voice of the investigators again, like the people looking into this.
This is
They're-
you talking about.
No,
you're
no.
Done.
No, their assessment of listening to the first couple episodes is not only they're not going to find anything incriminating or worthwhile to hear, but they also think, you know what, this is just not really something anyone should hear ever. So let's just get it pulled. Let's wipe it from existence. Let's remove all evidence that this show ever happened in the first place.
Right.
And I think that's a damn shame. We
I mean,
are exercising our right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And,
Mhm.
you know, most people don't really look to, they don't really support cannibalism, but that should not be
most people don't.
that should not mean that we should not be able to be in favor of it or wish to partake in it or wish to get someone else lured into it to be murdered.
Yeah, no, I mean, as my take on cannibalism in general is, whatever,
Like,
sure.
I don't
if
think-
if you want it, do it. Yeah.
I don't think I don't think in large. I'm on a limb here. I don't
Oh
think
shit! You're getting
I don't-
further and further out on this limb.
I know,
It's gonna break.
it's getting very wobbly and it doesn't feel as sturdy anymore. I'm kind of looking back at toward the tree, the trunk of the tree, and I'm like, man,
There's
I
a
wish I was.
squirrel with a saw.
Yeah, he's got a little cannibalism party button stuck to him. I don't think that you and I are in favor of cannibalism, but we are.
No.
We're not. We're in favor of the cannibalism party.
It's that thing of like, it's not for me,
Yeah,
but what you do behind closed doors in banquet halls with a bunch of people, that's you.
yeah.
It's on you. You do your thing.
As long as you're not hurting anyone except maybe the victims,
person you're eating.
the meal,
Yeah.
future meal. What is
Future
meal
meal.
prep like for a cannibalism? Like we're cannibal. What if it's like, all right, gotta
Like a
get my.
handshake.
I don't mean like
Handshakes
prep.
and introductions.
I don't mean prep like tenderize your meat first and blah 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 blah.
Right.
I mean like, let's say they're getting their meals ready for the week. They make
Right.
all their meals on Sunday for the whole week. Do they have to let's say they invited someone over and that person canceled? They're like, oh no, what am I going to do now? That was my whole meal.
Yeah.
My whole week is shot.
That
I got
was
to
a
find
whole
someone else. I got to invite someone else to come over now. Everyone's busy. It's Sunday
Like,
night.
God damn it! Now I got to go out for groceries.
I got to go shopping. Not necessarily a
people.
store. I need
No.
to go to just
They're-
where a lot
yeah.
of people are located.
Yep, just outside.
Unsuspecting people, not
Mhm.
really looking over the shoulder or in defense mode.
Basically, they're like, I'm going to order a pizza,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to eat the pizza. I'm going to
I'm
invite
gonna-
the delivery person in.
yeah, because I'm a friendly person.
That's a bad idea now that I thought about it.
Ordering
Because
pizza.
clearly they're going to know where was the last person that delivery boy delivered pizza to, and they never came back. So
So
I
it's
guess
got to
that
be a
doesn't really
boy,
work.
huh? Women can't be
Well,
pizza delivery
In
drivers.
this case, it was a boy.
I thought you were going to say in this day and age. No, they can't.
Women can't deliver food.
They'd have to be able to drive.
Yeah, we've taken that away.
So, I mean, we're close. So you're saying it's a bad idea to order pizza and then take that person?
Yeah,
because
it's a bad idea to do something like that because they're gonna know that person went missing. The
they're
last
going to have
place
record
they
of
went
you
to
either
was-
calling in to order the pizza or ordering it
Yeah.
online or on an app. They're going to have record of which driver was leaving to fulfill that order, and
Mhm.
that driver's car is going to be outside of your place, probably still
Right.
running.
Well,
Until it
depending.
runs out of gas,
Well, I would say I don't know if certain places they don't leave their cars running anymore, depending on where you live, I guess. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
I mean, if
in
you
that.
have a place where they pull into your driveway or something, they might leave it running.
They might.
But if you're like in the city, like me, no, they just park it in the
Yeah.
middle of the street with their flashers on, block all the traffic, and then shut it off and go into some giant apartment building for 20 minutes.
It's okay if you guys are all of a sudden worried about getting into an accident because of there being a car blocking one of the lanes. This
Dude,
person
it's
is
bad.
hungry. There's someone that is hungry right now, and they're waiting for their hot, round pizza.
I assume
I'm guessing it's
it
round.
might be that they're ready for their hot round delivery guy.
Well, this is the delivery person saying this. And again,
Right.
you went straight to guy. I'm not liking where this is going. You're really on this theme of no women can deliver pizza or
Yeah,
food
yeah.
in general. And you've already said they can't drive.
Well, they
Right.
can't be hot and round.
Got okay,
I
so
don't know what that means.
no, I know exactly what it means. Matt is saying women cannot be both hot and round. So if they're a little bit more on the heavier side, that they are just not
That
attractive.
is,
That's exactly what you said. What else could it mean? Tell me. Now tell me right now.
I
What do you
was-
mean by that?
going off of that, you were claiming that I just keep saying delivery guy all the time, and I referred to this delivery guy as hot and round.
I know
So
again,
I
a
jokingly
guy.
said, "Yeah, women. If delivery drivers can't be women, they also can't be hot and round."
Okay, what?
I don't know anymore. So it's gonna be Christmas soon.
Yeah, it is. Deck the halls. Are your halls decked?
No, but my
Do you
deck
have
is
halls?
hauled.
Your deck is hauled. You've
I
hauled
have
your
I
deck.
kind of have a hall. You've been here.
Yeah, I know. But people just say deck
It's
the halls.
kind of a hall.
Oh, it's a hallway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I've got my tree up. I've
Oh,
trimmed
I don't
it,
have a tree.
which for some reason is the term used when describing hanging
Putting
ornaments
things
on it
onto
and
it.
lights onto it.
Not
Yeah,
taking stuff
That's-
off.
right. That's trimming it. So after the trimming, it was a heavier tree.
Yeah.
I've got my
It's the only tree that you trim and it gets heavier. All other trees you trim get lighter.
Well, do you call that trimming, or do you say you're like clipping the branches or something?
Like trimming the tree. Yeah.
Trimming the tree. So if you go
Yeah.
outside to
Trim the branches.
you got to make sure that
Trim
they're
the
not-
hedge, you know.
they're not getting into the power lines or hanging too far over your roof because you don't want squirrels and stuff to be able to get onto your roof. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff. That's also called trimming the tree when you cut that stuff back.
Sure.
Cool.
Trim literally has two definitions for trim are legitimately the opposites of each other.
In this, yes, but there's also, the white part of Santa's outfit, like the bottom part that lines the bottom. That's called the trim as well. So there's another
Why has it gotta
form
be
of
white?
trim because that's how the costume was designed. It's historically
By
The rest-
Coca-Cola.
the rest of the costume is red, right?
Yeah. You
So
know
I'm not-
that version of Santa was created by Coca-Cola. The Santa that we all know and love.
I
don't
did know that, and
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Coca-Cola?
They also came up with polar bears.
Coca-Cola is the world's drink.
Yeah.
They invented
Coca-Cola
polar
also-
bears.
They designed polar bears.
They designed the look of a polar bear.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of red on a polar bear, though. It's all white.
No, yeah. I don't
Where's
know.
the red?
They went with on the inside.
So, okay, all the blood, you mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the real magic is when you slice open a polar bear. That's
Uh-huh.
that's when Coca-Cola's true vision comes to life.
Mm-hmm. Coca-Cola, we like to kill polar bears, the already very endangered animal.
Yeah. So I wonder why that's not in any of those, Christmas time advertising.
It's in
for
the fine
Coca-Cola.
print. Yeah.
But they should show it, right? Maybe it's just because of television censors saying,
Yeah.
it's not
I mean,
allowed.
if you go overseas, you probably see those versions.
Gotcha. Like so we got to check out some foreign
Yeah.
Coca-Cola ads that are focused around the holidays to see if we can catch a glimpse of a mutilated polar bear.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Yeah, I got my stockings hung over the fireplace.
With care?
I did. Nah, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what that means. With
I
care.
don't know. It's in the. It's
I know,
again,
but
it's a song lyric.
I know that. But I was just thinking about it when you asked. What
I think
does
it's
that
just
even
putting very just hanging them with
nicely? I guess.
nice putting a lot of attention into hanging those up and really enjoying the experience and being like, I think it's putting a lot of care into it and just like you would a human before you eat them.
like you would like when you're going to hang a human.
That's touchy. We don't talk.
I
about
guess you
that.
could say I did it with care. I mean,
Yeah.
I made sure that
Make sure they're nice and level and
I made sure that the hooks are evenly spaced, and so they're not
nice.
crowding each other, and they're all one stocking per hook. I didn't just toss them over hoping the hook would catch them, and they might fall to the floor.
it'd be really weird
otherwise.
to just hang all your stockings from one hook. Just be like, ugh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, I still have two empty hooks next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
It's
an
like
example.
I couldn't reach and I didn't feel like moving.
That would definitely be an example of a stocking or stockings being hung without care.
Right.
If there was regulated to one hook when there are many hooks. In fact,
Mhm.
there's the exact amount of hooks that would accommodate the number of stockings that you're hanging, but you choose instead to just latch them all to one hook, call it a night.
I mean, in my heart, there is only one Hook, and that's Captain Hook. But I know what you mean.
I thought you were going to say starring Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman and what's her face, celebrity woman.
Celebrity woman.
I can't remember her name right now.
Sean,
Tinkerbell. She played Tinkerbell.
Women can't be celebrities.
Oh, that's right. Erin Brockovich, Pretty Woman.
Keep
What's
going.
her name?
You'll get it. I'm going to let you get it. I know it, but I'm not going to say it.
What other movies is she in?
You kind of, what did you start saying?
I think it starts with a J, does it not? Does it start with a J?
It sure does. I just hope people are screaming right now.
They
are.
Yep. Golly. Julie. No. What in the world? Why can't I say her name? Conspiracy theory.
Julie.
Wow.
Julie,
I'm so baffled that I'm not. This name is not coming to me.
I literally just said her first name.
You did? Well, here's the thing. Honestly, sometimes you have randomly been cutting out, and so I just haven't heard you. So it could have been a time I haven't heard you.
Okay.
Anyway, Julia Roberts.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, old JR. Old Junior. Get over here, Junior.
Jesus Christ.
Let me give you a hard candy.
It sounds like a euphemism.
when I was at Thanksgiving at my grandpa's, there was a bowl of Werther's Originals. And I said, "What are these doing here?" And someone was like, "Oh, Aunt Julie bought them or something." I'm like,
so they were like fresh for the party. They weren't like,
I don't know, but I was just
they might have been sitting there for a while.
I'm like, are you trying to make Grandpa a walking stereotype? Werther's Originals? Has he ever asked for those?
Right.
She peed herself.
So as I like to do sometimes, so I was trying to look up some, I figured this month we can just kind of do like a holiday themed kind of episodes.
Sure.
Just kind of talk about, not that I give a fuck about Christmas.
Eggnog. Holly.
But as I like to do sometimes, Sean, I like to read you stories from the internet.
Oh, you did this again? We just did this about Thanksgiving. It's too early for this.
But these are scary Christmas stories, Sean.
Oh, they're scary Christmas stories.
Yeah.
So if I were you, I would have placed this right about in the middle of November, in between Halloween and Christmas.
No, but these are scary Christmas stories.
Yeah, but to sort of even, anyway.
There's 7 stories. I read the first one and I was like, "What?" So here, that was my literal reaction to it.
Gotcha.
Was just what? So yeah, I wanted to read you some scary Christmas stories.
Gotcha. All right. Scare me to
all right.
Scare me. I don't know. I got nothing. Scare me to the end of this episode.
We're batting 400 today on this episode.
Scare me to holiday cheer.
All right. Well, story number 1 is called Creepy Christmas. A first-year student arrives home. Her cousins offer to stay.
So what is a preschooler?
But she waves them off. I'm assuming it's first-year college student.
I guess, but okay.
I don't know. There's no context.
I'm denying my college existed or my student status all years prior, all through elementary, middle, and high school. Anyway.
All right. Her cousins offered. What?
Okay. I was going to say, what? Go on. Cousins offered student.
Her cousins offer to stay, but she waves them off. Nice to be alone in the house for a change.
Sure.
Vaguely, she noticed an unfamiliar car parked in the street.
How do you vaguely notice something?
I don't know.
Okay.
As she sat down on the couch, she heard a knock on the front door.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She opened the door to a man who asked, "Is that car for sale?" His next question was, "Is there someone else home I can talk to?" She hastily shuts the door, hides, bumping and braking, she hides. Hears bumping and braking as the man finds another way into the house. Luckily, her uncle arrives home to beat him off.
Oh no.
That's the end of the story.
So the question is, did that make the man go away, or did it make him stick around
I mean,
a little longer? Like, right?
If somebody if somebody's uncle arrives home to beat me off, I mean, I'm sticking around.
I'm like, what's
That
for
sounds
dinner?
great.
You got
Yeah.
something to eat? I'm hungry. So maybe, I mean, this is probably the plan all along. This student, did not know that their uncle did
Had
this.
company are coming over.
Yeah. Doesn't partake in this sort of thing. And it just came as a surprise to them. But the uncle was expecting this person. That's why they asked, is there anyone else home that I could talk to? Meaning,
Right.
can your uncle beat me off now?
Is your uncle here? I'm here for my 4 o'clock beat off.
I call him Uncle Hands. I call him Uncle for some reason, even though he's your uncle. Before I knew he was an uncle.
But this story makes, so obviously we're joking about the beat him off part because it's a funny way to phrase that. But with that aside, just saying that her uncle arrived to, scare him off. Let's say that. Even in that context, this story doesn't have any element of anything in it at all.
Well,
she sees
the student
she
was
sees
home
an unfamiliar car parked on the street. How often do you recognize every car that's on your street? There's going to be unfamiliar cars on your street all the time.
So hold on. Does this, are we out in the suburbs? Are we in a more rural environment? Or are we in the city where there's just people parking on the street all the time? If you're in the suburbs and someone parks in front of your house, because if you're going to approach a house and say, is that car for sale? The car has to be parked right in front of the house or in the driveway, right? So if they're in a more suburban or rural environment, they're going to not necessarily see a bunch of unfamiliar cars parked out in front of your own house. Right. So that could be something to be concerned about or to be curious about.
So then maybe it was his car.
Well, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
It was his car.
Is my car for sale?
And his way in to try to get into the house is to say, is that car for sale? This is not this guy's first rodeo.
But I love the sentence of he asks, is that car for sale? His next question, there's nothing about her response to that.
Yeah.
Just immediately he asks another question.
Well, she was probably frozen in fear because she's a helpless woman.
Yeah. Is there someone else at home, home I can talk to? Because he's this women can't talk.
They don't know cars. They can't drive.
No, just women can't speak. They don't have the ability. This whole episode is just all the things women can't do.
Sure.
Also, no mention of this being anything Christmas related.
Also, I know. They're home for Christmas. Isn't that what it says?
Well, it just says first year student arrives home.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with Christmas in this story. I mean, it is the most popular time of the year to sell cars.
Before we continue, let me tell you what the paragraph before the stories that started is.
Sure.
It says scary Christmas stories. Ask no more. I handpicked 7 short scary Christmas stories for you to tell in this favorite time of year. The short scary Christmas stories you will find on this page are stories you can quickly adapt and tell. Who's going to tell this story to anyone?
And what are you going to do?
The person who wrote it won't tell anybody this.
Are you going to adapt it by trying to make it sound
things to make it good?
Well, you're going to try to make it sound like it's your own actual story. So you're going to insert names of people you know. Yeah.
Yeah. She arrived home and told her cousins not to stay with her.
Or was it not a girl I know, but was it me? Was I coming home after being a first-year student?
There was a hook in the door.
Yeah, the whole time. I know what you did last summer.
I've been dead for 40 years.
I'm telling this story now as a cautionary tale. I'm haunting you.
Right.
Christmas.
Okay. Sean, this next short story, they're all short stories too, so we can burn through these sons of bitches.
Yeah, let's
This is called The Grifter.
Fire.
It's called The Grifter,
yeah.
And it does say Christmas in the first sentence.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Grifter.
All right. When his children ask for a scary story on Christmas Eve, the father tells about the grifter.
Who does that?
I don't know.
Christmas Eve. Who says, tell me a scary story?
Daddy, scare us. I know it's just Halloween, but
it's almost bedtime. Okay. I'm already not believing this, but go ahead.
All right. A fearsome monster about whom it is said that he will come to get you when you don't finish his story. Why would you ever start telling the story about the grifter? if the whole point about the grifter only comes for you if you don't finish telling the story about the grifter?
And how is the grifter keeping track of this?
Yeah.
What if you have two houses, various parts of the world or country, whatever,
Both telling the story.
They're both telling the story at the same time, and neither are finished. What are you going to do?
Oh, the grifter's like, what? Shit.
It's like,
Loophole.
do you save the bus full of strangers, or do you save Lois Lane? What do you pick? You can't do both.
And here's the thing: what if you don't finish the story now, but you're going to finish it later?
Yeah,
I'll finish telling this story tomorrow. The grifter's like, all right, I guess I'll wait until tomorrow to see if he does. Like, at what point is he going to be like, I'm going to finish it later. I'm just not finishing it yet.
Right. So if I rent a movie on iTunes, right,
Mm-hmm.
I have 30 days to begin watching it. Once I start watching it, then I think it's 48 hours to finish watching it. So you have 30 days to just start watching it. But once you start, two days go by. If you don't finish that movie, it's gone.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something in the contract that says you have X amount of time to finish the story.
Once you start telling the story, you have X number of hours in which to finish it.
Yeah. The story is like really, really long though. And it's like if you're going to get it done in the amount of time that he wants you to get it done in, you have to really speed through it.
Here's another problem. Now, he's going to come and attack you, right? If you don't finish his story.
Yeah. He will come to get you.
Now, this is maybe he's not particular on just going after the person that didn't finish the story. Maybe he's going after also the people that the story is being told to, right?
I don't know. It just says when you don't finish his story.
So the reason I ask is,
I assume it's the person telling the story.
Well, what if the person telling the story in the middle of the story dies?
Oh.
And cannot finish the story.
Right.
Now, are the people that the person was telling the story to, are they in danger?
I don't think so. I think just the person who was telling a story.
So
unless the person who was telling the story is like, fuck you, you finish it.
What?
I don't know.
Uncle Hans, we don't know the story.
You finish it.
We don't know the story,
Hans.
Uncle Hans.
It's Hans, goddammit. How many times do I have to tell you?
It's Hans Fingers. That's my name. So anyway, I guess, yes, carry on with the rest of this short story. It's very short.
Yeah, hold on.
It won't take long to finish.
He lives at the North Pole, the father says, while the mother urges him to finish the story quickly. Of course he's not real, the father says. The children beg him to finish the story. Then two hands reach through the window and pop the heads off of the father and the mother. They didn't finish his story. He didn't give him a chance to finish the story.
So this is interesting.
And why did the mother die? She was encouraging him to finish the story. If that was a requirement, like, oh, she got involved because she urged him to finish it, the children did too.
God.
Why are the children still alive?
Everyone suffers when a woman speaks.
We're gonna get baby cold outside here.
It is. Oh gosh. For other reasons, then there's just nothing worthwhile and nothing they'll find in an investigation. This story is very strange because it's a story about someone telling a story.
Yeah.
And in that story, like the story that they're telling in the story you're reading comes true. It's just weird. It's
Storyception.
Maybe it seems more complicated to me than it is. Like there are more layers than there really are.
So basically, this is a story about a man telling his children a story about a creature that will kill you if you don't finish his story.
A grifter. Is a grifter a creature?
I think a grifter is just like a...
I thought it was like someone who was like trying to get like hitchhiking stuff, or someone that travels. So. Yeah. So it started off as
a person who engages in petty or small scale swindling.
Oh, okay. But this is not petty or small scale swindling. This is like, if you don't finish telling my story, I'm going to pop your head off.
Yeah.
This is not small scale at all.
No, this is, I mean, it's kind of, is it swindling even?
It's not even, no, it's not.
No, it'd be swindling if he didn't come through with the murder, or like he didn't come get you, right?
Well, yeah, it would be like, you trick them out of some, you trick them out of some money or something. Like, yeah, this is
instead he's tricking them out of their lives. He's swindling their lives away. That's
the only way you could connect it to it being a grifter.
Yeah,
anyway.
He shouldn't be called a grifter. He should be called like a kill beast.
Kill beast. Okay, should be called a kill beast.
I mean,
Great.
that it's got a ring to it.
It does. Kind of
Let's
like
make a movie out of this.
Kind of like
the
a
Kill
Philly,
Beast.
a Philly cheese beef.
Philly cheese beef. We're gonna make this movie
Kill Beast?
called The Kill Beast, and it's just it's gonna be a very short movie about a guy telling his kids a story about the Kill Beast.
So the one thing,
finish the story.
Well, the thing I'm wondering is, yeah, you're right. It was so fast. He had no time to finish.
Yeah, he didn't have any time to finish the story. So it's like if you don't. So once you start telling the story, can you not stop telling it until it's done? I wonder if that's the rule, because he's like, it's not real. Blah. He's dead, you know? Well,
the weird thing about it is the story that you told is that someone was trying to scare their kids asked for a scary story around Christmas Eve, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, I'm going to tell you a scary story. But he's not telling a story. I don't get it. Like, why is
you're thinking too deeply here?
Well, why is he choosing to tell this story that would legitimately put his life in danger?
Well, because he doesn't think it's real. He literally says, of course he's not real.
So the only thing
and then he dies.
So if this was the story all by itself, the grifter story, right? It would not be a scary Christmas story. But the fact that this family was affected because the father was telling the children on Christmas Eve this story,
right?
That's what makes this a scary Christmas story.
Yes. So, yes, the story I was telling was a scary Christmas story. The story the father was telling is a scary any time of the year story.
But that's the other thing. My point, I guess, the only thing that makes it quote unquote a Christmas story, the only thing tying it to Christmas is just the fact that this was told in this scenario. I'm sure this story has been told many times throughout the year.
No, it's not ever.
But in this world, it has, right? In this world where if you really tell the story but don't finish, you get murdered by the grifter.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't have, it's not associated with Christmas in any way.
It's not associated with Christmas in any way. So it's like Die Hard.
Sure.
Like there will be some that argue that it's a Christmas story and some that argue that it's not a Christmas story, just because the events of the movie Die Hard happen to take place around Christmas time, but the movie itself is not about Christmas.
Correct.
Right? So the story itself has nothing to do with Christmas. Mm-hmm. It's just that this particular telling of the story happened to be on Christmas Eve. How many times can I say the same thing over and over again without really making new points to support what I'm saying?
I've become desensitized to that. Unrelated to you, I've become desensitized to things being explained a million different ways to get to the same conclusion. All right, this next story, because if we don't move on, we'll stay on that one forever.
Yeah. Well, I really derailed that one. I jumped in right away.
A spy cam in my Christmas tree is the title.
Okay. Let's see if this has anything to do with Christmas.
Puts a spy cam in the Christmas tree. Second sentence, reiterating the title.
Gotcha. Yes.
Our first sentence, reiterating the title.
Perfect.
Then he dresses up as Santa Claus and does everything Santa is supposed to do.
Great.
That's a weird,
probably not needed, especially if all this stuff happens when everyone's asleep. You don't really have to
actually
do
doing everything Santa needs to do. Like, dude's going to be gone all night.
I know. He's now
Everybody's getting extra presents.
He is committing to delivering Christmas presents to every person that's been nice around the world, and then going home to pleasure Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, for a year.
For the rest of the year.
The following day, they watch the recording with their two little girls. They are over the moon to see Santa.
That's why he did everything Santa
The video continues playing as they unwrap the gifts. There is one strange... So hold on. He filmed... Oh, because he was filming himself the night before putting like the presents there. And then the next morning, they're watching the video with the kids. Gotcha.
He filmed himself on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So then they could be like, hey, girls, look, Santa came and here's the proof.
Yeah, okay. For some reason, my brain was doing something else about what he was filming. I thought he was filming him, like, bringing the presents to the girls and then they were continuing, but then they were watching it immediately, and then still watching it while they're unwrapping presents. I was confused. All right.
Like there's just a live feed. They hooked it up.
Yeah, like they're watching the live recording as they're recording it.
They're not looking down at the present they're opening. They're looking at the screen, the TV to see what they opened.
It's like a live unboxing video. Anyways,
I look great from behind.
The video continues playing as they unwrap the gifts. I'm both hot and round. There is one strange little box. One of the girls says that it must be from Santa's elves, or Santa's elf. When they look carefully at the recording, they see the elf. He bites off the head of a cookie and turns the camera off. Wow. Nobody knows what he did after that.
Well, yeah, the camera's. You didn't have to explain that part. The camera turned off.
So they only saw him in the camera, but they didn't see him when they look carefully at the recording. Okay, so hold on.
Yeah, go back.
There is one strange little. So they're unwrapping a gift, and there's one strange little box. One of the girls says that it must be from Santa's elf. When they look carefully at the recording, they see the elf. He bites the head off of a cookie and then turns the camera off. Nobody knows what he did after that. So they're watching. Okay, so as they're watching this video of the previous night while they're unwrapping the gifts in the morning, they see the elf dropping off a strange little present, biting the head off a cookie, and shutting the camera off.
So what makes this creepy or scary,
right, is that the elf might be somewhere in the house.
Well, yeah, like who is this elf?
Yeah,
because the dad was just dressed as Santa, pretending to be Santa, and just putting the presents over the tree. Then they find this box that the dad or mom doesn't recognize.
Right.
And then so they go back to check the footage and they see this little elf bite the head off a cookie and turn the camera off.
Yeah, but so they don't know what he did after that, though.
Or where he is now.
Yeah, he could still be in the house.
I like how
that sounds like the start. See, that sounds like it could start off as a interesting way to do like a creepy little like Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like, okay, I could see how that could actually like do something kind of interesting. Like that would be the cool way to like end a creepy Christmas movie. Like,
ooh, yeah.
Say like creepy stuff happened throughout the movie and then like, oh, happy ending. Everything's good. They're having a Christmas. The dad's doing this thing. And then that's how the movie ends with the elf being like, and they might be in the house. And yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first one that was
actually somewhat cool. Decent.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not bad.
The only thing is there's that redundant, like not redundant, but this completely pointless line where, and then he turned the camera off and then we couldn't watch anymore. Like,
yeah, that's how you'd end the movie too. The camera would shut off and then then text would pop up that says, nobody knows what he did after that.
Yeah. They almost had it. It was almost a perfect movie. And they ruined it with
just
the final
that unnecessary line. That's something we would totally do in a movie. It's just like, all right, we made a good movie. We need to put something stupid in it real quick.
Yeah. And now you can't watch any more of this movie.
Yeah. Now the movie has ended.
Credits.
I mean, that's kind of essential of the same thing of putting the end at the end of a movie.
That's true, but that's why I didn't say that. That's why I didn't say the movie's over. I said you cannot watch any more of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's forget what you said and let's just admire the Christmas gods over at Coca-Cola.
I had one earlier.
You did? A Christmas god?
Yeah. Ate them whole.
Oh, you're part of the cannibalism party.
I've said too much. This next story is called The Snowman, because there's no such thing as a snow woman.
Of course not. They're not.
A man stays in a solitary cabin in the middle of a snowy forest. He wakes up in the middle of the night and looks outside.
It's never with any other cabins.
No. He sees a snowman standing in the distance. Oh, they don't really stand. Very strange, because no other people live there to make a snowman.
Huh. Who made the snowman?
The snowman is still there.
God, it didn't melt?
No, apparently not.
There's nothing mysterious about that part.
And sees the snowman again. I think it'd be weirder if you didn't keep seeing the snowman, sir.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, the initial sighting of the snowman where you have no explanation as to how it got there.
Kind of weird.
Yes. But the fact that it's still there is not worrisome at all. Go on.
In the morning,
how many sightings
he goes out for a closer look.
Oh.
Nobody is there. He knocks the snowman down. Dick move.
Vengeance.
Brig.
It's over.
The following night, something is hitting the window. Watch the rest of the story on YouTube. What? There's a video attached.
What a cliffhanger!
Oh, that's the stupidest one yet.
They got us.
There's a video on YouTube. So if anybody wants to see how that story ends, go check out YouTube and look for the snowman.
Yeah.
There is what do you call it? Not the screenshot. What do you call the
thumbnail?
Thumbnail for the video. It says the snowman. There's a little cabin and a not properly made snowman in the corner with a smiley face.
How is it not properly made? Describe it to the listeners and me.
Well, it looks so a snowman would normally be 3 snowballs.
Sure, three segments like an insect.
Yeah.
3 body
big,
segments.
Medium, small.
Yeah.
This is just one blob and it's kind of kind of dome topped and then it kind of comes further out so it's just kind of a domed top down, then it comes further out and then straight down.
Are you body shaming?
I'm body shaming the hell out
You're
of this snowman.
You're body shaming the snowman.
This is not a proper snowman. Anyways, this next story is called Christmas shopping.
Before we get into that, and if you want to go on YouTube and check out the conclusion to this mysterious snowman story, maybe do a search for Tool Fan Reacts and check out some delightful reactions if you want. I don't know.
Shameless plug.
If you want, I don't know.
Shameless plug.
What do you mean shameless plug? I plug this on that. I plug the podcast on that. So, and I've like never plugged the YouTube
we've mentioned
thing on
it.
here.
We've mentioned it a couple times.
Yes, but yeah. Anyway.
But yes, please go check out Tool Fan Reacts.
It features me
on YouTube. YouTube.
It's videos about bathtubs.
Oh,
and margarine containers.
I don't know why it's not catching on.
YouTube. Oh,
all right. This one's called Christmas shopping.
Oh, that's
suppose
always,
you want a
It's
PlayStation.
a good way. Yeah.
Suppose you want a PlayStation.
It's a good get.
You could not get it at the store. It sold out.
This might be the first true story of all of them. I still
could not get it online. Too expensive.
Wouldn't it be too expensive hold on, stop.
No, because I think it's because people are selling them online for over asking price. Yeah, I think that's what it probably means.
Because under normal purchasing circumstances, I would imagine, unless you just can't do shipping.
Right.
That's pushing me over the edge. I cannot do it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that's the case, you're going to be paying the same price online as you are in the store. But this is still true. How long ago now has the PS5 been out? I don't even remember. At least a year
years now, hasn't it?
A few. You know what? It might have been before. People started working from
before
home.
The PS4.
Yeah. What? No. But I'm not regularly searching for one. But if I do find myself in the electronics area of a store like Target or whatever, I just peek over there. I'm like, are there any in here? I still have not ever seen a PS5 console at a Best Buy or at a Target.
It's crazy that they can't get how are they not making them?
I don't know
fast enough to get them out to people. After this long.
That's my point. I have to think it's their strategy. I have to think it's
probably they're probably only making so many a year just because they're we keep the prices up.
Yeah, we just want the demand to be high as it can be. So we'll just sprinkle them out here and there. And if it makes you feel like you have to scramble to get one and you're lucky to get one.
Right.
Yeah. And then I
wonder how many of them they dumped for Black Friday. They had to have put a bunch out for it.
Oh, they probably did.
They'd make a shit ton.
Yeah.
All right. So, too expensive. They're too expensive online.
Yeah,
then you spot one online for a reasonable price. You contact the seller, and he proposes to bring it to your home. You think. What about a public place? You reluctantly agree. A van pulls up to your home. A man walks to your door. No PlayStation to be seen. It's in the car, he says. I thought that was the end of the story. I just had to scroll down. It's in the car, he says. Then when you don't buy his story and close the door, you hear him slamming something into the door. Later, you find a bloody knife embedded into the door. Why does it have blood on it?
Yeah, whose blood is it? Is it the guy's blood?
Of doors.
My door's
the door's
bleeding.
Blood.
Is it?
What the fuck is the knife bloody for?
Right, he didn't stab.
He cut himself or what?
That's what I'm thinking. It's his own blood.
Yeah. He was hitting the door. He doesn't know how knives work. He was holding the blade
Yeah.
for the first half, and he's like, "Oh crap!"
He was trying to hand the knife handle first to the person.
That it was
And
polite,
then they got scared and slammed the door shut.
right?
You know,
It's
and
in
then-
my van. He's like, "It's in my van, but you're gonna have to cut it open."
Right. So here's this knife.
I had
Let
to
me
seal
go.
my van shut because the door's messed up.
Yeah. And I don't want someone to run up, walk. I mean, this is a hot ticket item. I
Yeah.
don't want someone to just
Yeah.
run up and steal it while I'm approaching your door without the item and a knife.
Right?
Nothing's wrong with the scenario, lady or man. Who wants this thing?
It doesn't unspecified.
Gotcha.
It's you apparently. Suppose you want a PlayStation.
Oh, I see. So I'm the
You
one
could
in the
not get it
story.
at the store. It's sold out.
Anyone can like enjoy the story because they can. It's like they can put themselves in the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoever
Yeah.
wrote this is
You-
brilliant.
You are stupid enough to tell
Suppose-
somebody where you live.
Yeah, but I thought didn't they not and say, what about a public place?
They said that, but then it says you reluctantly agree.
oh,
And so yeah, it's
I missed
you
that part.
think. What about a public place? You reluctantly agree.
I missed that part. So I was thinking, well, they proposed doing it at a public
'Cause,
place, but
yeah,
then the guy
you
just
think.
shows up at the house.
Yeah, it didn't say like you proposed that you go to a public place. You're just like, what about a public place? Nah, my house is fine.
Yeah, I changed my mind reluctantly. And do you ever think? You ever think that word?
I
Or
think
is that-
I think I've definitely done that out loud. Like, I wonder.
Well, no, doing out loud, but to think it is
Yeah.
just meant to like verbalize the
Yeah,
act
I don't
of
know if
thinking?
I've ever in my head.
This story suggests that this person thought,
Yeah.
I hate the internet.
I'm thinking out loud in my brain. This next story is called Carol Singers. It's a bunch of singers named Carol.
I was going to say, I'm surprised they haven't modified that for modern times and called Karen singers. Let's go around
Yeah.
Karening. Let's sing some Christmas Karens. We should write some Christmas Karens.
Yeah.
You got nothing going with the story. You got
I'm trying
nothing.
to come
Tell
up
the
with some
story.
lyrics.
You
Trying
got
to
nothing.
come
Tell
up
the
with
story. Julia Roberts.
The only
walks
song
in.
that popped into my head is that I don't remember what that song is, but it's that one. It's like dun 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 dun. Dun.
Oh
And
yeah,
it has lyrics.
yeah. I don't know the name of it either.
So I was
but
trying to. It's like, let me see your manager. Okay. Anyway, my grandfather drank.
we're
My
onto
father
something.
drank. I never touched the drink. Every Christmas evening, my father and grandfather would gather a group of friends and sing carols house to house. One Christmas Eve, I went with them. It was cold and snowy, and we stopped at an old, odd-looking house. Scary inhabitants of the house offer my grandfather a drink. Weird.
Why are they
drinks.
scary?
I don't know. Scary inhabitants of the house offer my grandfather a drink. That in itself is a weird sentence.
It is.
But he drinks, but it turns out to be blood. He dies, and all
What?
of us wake up a little later to see the inhabitants of the house gone. Why were you asleep? Why did he die from drinking blood? None of this makes sense.
How can you see something not be there?
He drinks, but it turns out to be blood.
Poison
He
blood.
He dies, and all of us wake up a little bit later to see the inhabitants of the house gone.
Why did they all fall asleep?
I don't know.
One person drinks blood. Everyone falls asleep.
That's
The
how
person
it
who-
works.
The person who drank the blood dies.
Yeah.
The inhabitants are now seen gone. The
Yeah.
scary inhabitants of the house. What kind of story is this?
I don't know. A bad one?
It's a very bad story.
Okay, I got it right.
Cue the ding sound effect, and while we're at it, do the turkey gobbling also.
Damn it.
However that
Marking
went.
the time.
Got it.
So I know when to do that. Yeah, no. So apparently, like, if you live in a house full of a bunch of insomniacs and you're like, say you're having trouble with like, I can't get my baby to sleep. It's been driving me insane. I want to die. You're in luck.
There's a way.
All
There's a
you
way
gotta
out.
do is drink some blood. Boom, you're dead. Boom, your baby's gonna sleep for a bit.
But the reason you want to die is because the baby won't go to sleep.
Yeah.
So if you
it's
found
kinda-
a way to
yeah.
get the baby to go to sleep, you wouldn't want to die anymore.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
That's the only way.
yeah.
You're stuck. Like, well,
You take the good, you take the bad. take them both.
And there you have
the facts of life.
Facts of life.
Facts of life. This next one and last one.
Why did you want to end on that? You should have seen you next Tuesday to that one.
Nah.
Way to go.
Because this one's called...
Way to feel out how to close an episode, man.
We can do it again. Sing the facts of life at the end again.
Gotcha.
We have to end on this one song. Song.
Come on, song. It's Christmas time, song. Let's sing you now.
This song's son of a bitch.
It's a story.
Story is called True Christmas Story.
It's called True Christmas Story? All right.
It's called True Christmas Story.
Nothing to convince me of. I'm all in. I believe this wholeheartedly.
It'd be better if it was called True, the True Christmas Story.
I wish it were called that.
Anyways, when we drive home from the restaurant where we spend Christmas night, we stop at a gas station. Already
riveting.
Awful sentence.
Also, nothing believable about this story.
Bad way to start a story.
Who eats at a restaurant, then drives home and has to stop for gas?
Well,
who comes up with this nonsense?
Hold on. This is the way they word this. It sounds like this is what they do every Christmas. When we drive home from the restaurant where we spend Christmas night.
Yeah. What if they're Jewish?
We stop at a gas station.
Yeah, they could be Jewish, man.
But that doesn't matter. I'm just saying that's
they're not.
They make a tradition of spending Christmas night at this restaurant every year. It doesn't matter if they're Jewish or not. They're still then.
But they're not at
creating
home.
A Christmas tradition.
They're not at home. Well, they have the time off.
Yeah, well.
Just like anyone else. I've spent a few
do you think
Christmas nights.
Do you think it's kind of messed up in America that everything closes down for Christmas, but they don't close everything down for Hanukkah? Granted,
Hanukkah's like 8 days.
Large chunk of time.
Yeah, that's a lot of still a lot of business lost.
Yeah, well.
And if there's anything, anyway,
what are you saying?
Nothing.
Jewish people won't want to lose business.
Go on with the
close
story.
Down that much,
Go
Sean?
on with
Which
True
are you
Christmas
saying,
Story.
Are you saying Jewish people are greedy and won't close down businesses for 8 days?
Go on with.
Are you saying that
Christmas
Jewish people
story
run Hollywood? All right, so we stop at the gas station. Then
is it over?
My family goes out to pee.
All of them.
I stay in the car.
Wait, they go out
pee.
They can't. Hold on. They go
out to pee. They couldn't be at the restaurant.
Just meaning they leave the car to go inside the gas station to pee?
I assume that's what it means. Because they stopped at the gas station. The family goes out to pee. He says, I stay in the car, which makes it sound like he pees in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were him, I would pee into the gas tank.
Suddenly, I see a man standing in the dark, staring at me.
Okay.
I don't know how the man must have just appeared, because I don't know how you suddenly see a man.
Well, you didn't see them at first. You turn and look one way, and then there they are. You didn't look that way before.
Okay. Or maybe it was like he thought it was a woman, but realized those don't exist.
I hope. Well, he has a family.
You don't know that.
How? So I'm hoping this version of the story is where he's peeing in the car and the man is staring at him.
Yeah. I mean, then, that's why the guy's staring at you. You fucking
of course.
creep.
In the dark.
He walks over to the car. I can't see his face very well. Luckily, my family comes back. We drove off. At night, I can't sleep. Suddenly, I hear the window breaking. I look outside and see the same man. I scream. My dad wakes up, and we call the police. Together, we do that. They search the surroundings and find the man. The following day, we see
the man
that the back door has been damaged. He almost got in.
Is that the end of the story?
Yeah, that's the end of the story.
That is probably the worst one.
Oh, I thought there was more, but it says P.S. because it says P.S. But it says, if you read this before Halloween, check out my scary for Halloween stories.
Why would you, before Halloween, you're going to look up scary Christmas stories?
I know.
Why would they think that?
Like, I know what to do.
So this story really is like some guy so then the man must have just gotten in his car when they left the gas station and followed them home.
Also, how do you know if it's the same man if you couldn't see his face very well?
Right. And somehow at night, now looking out the window, you can see his face? Or is it like, that must be him. He is also a silhouette.
Yeah.
I saw the same silhouette, I
before.
His crotch was huge.
Yeah. I knew because he was also peeing outside.
In my car.
He was also peeing in my car.
Yeah. We shared a moment.
It was the same man that tried to sell me a PlayStation.
And then he stabbed he stabbed himself with his knife and stuck it in the door.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, that was
my uncle beat him off.
Look at you trying to connect all the things together.
Well, because I was just thinking, because almost all these stories have to do with somebody trying to get into a door. You notice that?
It's got to be a scary story, right? What else? Yeah. What else is there?
Nothing
that's
is scarier than entering
a
door.
Nope. That's
you don't enter doors.
It's a door. No, you don't. You go through doorways.
Yeah. You go through doors. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't go through doors either.
Well, yeah.
Unless you're like really forceful and you knock a hole through it.
Or you're a ghost.
Oh.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm not going to say that now. It's still weeks out.
Yeah, no. We know the proper way to close this episode, Matt. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have Julia Roberts.
See you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at hsfamouspod, or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior, Greg Proops.